Coding made easy.
So what's up everybody, and welcome to your next Java Made Easy tutorial. And in this tutorial we're going to continue where we left off in our calculator program. So in the last tutorial we got everything running fine and everything was cool, and we delivered, let's just say we delivered this package to our client. Our client's like, okay, it's a great program, but the problem is that our users can only run the program once. We wanna run the program more than once. So how can we make it so that they can run the program more than once? So simple. So we're gonna use a while loop. So we're gonna make a boolean, and let's just set it to running, and let's set it to true. So let's do a do loop, do while loop, because we want to execute it at least once. Now do while loop, a lot of people don't really use it that much because you can simply just use a regular while loop, but let's use it. So we want to ensure at least one execution, right? And we want to loop while running is equal to true, and we just have to put running. If we just put the boolean variable in there, it represents true. And if we put the not symbol, it represents false. I don't know if I said that already. Sorry, I haven't made videos for this series in a while. So this is gonna execute it at least once. So after we're done the calculation, we want to prompt the user if they want to run this program again. So we're just gonna make a boolean, or actually never mind, we don't even need to. So we're gonna say system out print. Would you like to make another calculation? And we're gonna say enter y or n. So y or n for yes or no. So we're just gonna make a char. So let's just say result or whatever, and we're going to say result is equal to scanner dot next dot char at 0. So we're going to get the value, and we're going to say, okay, I don't know if I showed you this, but we're going to say running is equal to results equal to y. So what did I do here? So I know that this might confuse people at first glance, but what did I do here? Remember, in our if statements or our while loops or whatever, these are conditions, right? If the condition is met, it is true, and so it will run again. If the condition is false, if it's not met, it's false, and so it will not run. So in the brackets itself, whenever we call a condition, it returns a true or false value. So what we've done right here is we say, okay, running is a boolean variable. So we say running is equal to whatever this operation is. If this operation is true, then running will be equal to true. If this operation is false, then running is going to be equal to false. So if result is equal to y, so if they enter the value y, running is going to be equal to true. If they enter any other value than y, then it's going to stop running, and our program is actually going to end. So let's watch this execution. We're going to say 5 times 4. We'd like to make another calculation. Let's say y. So it's going to ask us again. 8 divided by 4. And we get 2. And we're going to say n. And then our program is done. So our customer's happy, but he wants to make one more change. So he said, okay, well, it's almost perfect, but the biggest problem is that if our users don't enter the right value, or they don't enter, let's say they enter a number too large. So they want their calculator to go from the number 1 to 1,000. They don't want any negative numbers at all. They just want it from 1 to 1,000. So now we got to implement some error checking. So if they enter a number too large, we have two things we can do. We can say if they have if they enter a number too large, we can just round it down to 1,000. If they enter a number too low, we round it up to 1. Or we can prompt the user to enter the number again. So I'm going to be showing you both methods on how we can do this. So if they, after they've entered the number, number 1 and number 2, we can say, okay, if num1 is less than 1, then we're going to say num1 is equal to 1. Else if num1 is greater than 1,000, num1 is equal to 1,000. And same for num2. So less than 1, num2 is equal to 1. Else if num1 is greater than 1,000, num2 is greater than 1,000, and num2 equals 1,000, and this should be 1,000. Right, so that will round it down, and that will be it for error checking as well. You can also add error checking for the symbols. So if they don't enter one of the 4 symbols, you can check to see if they don't enter one of the 4 symbols, and then by default you can make it one of these symbols. So you can say, okay, if operator not equal to plus and operator not equal to minus and operator not equal to multiply and operator not equal to divide, then we're going to say operator is equal to plus. And so this is good for error checking, because let's say for example they entered a wrong value, right? Then the program wouldn't execute. Obviously we wouldn't see a crash, but nothing would actually be executed. So in this way we're safe when it comes to our program. So we can run it again. So let's just say this number is 1,500 and negative 1,000. And let's say I put the operator as L. So now we're getting an error, input mismatch, blah 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 blah. Oh, sorry, I entered a letter when it should have been a number. So sorry about that. We can get into that type of exceptions and error checking later on. But sorry, so let's enter the first number. So 1,500, sorry, the operator, let's put L and let's put negative 1,000. So it says 1,000 plus 1,001 equals 1, plus 1, sorry, equals 1,001. So rounded out the values for us. And so it automatically, since it wasn't one of the operators we specified, it automatically did addition for us, and so on and so forth. So simple enough. And so let's say we don't want to actually set a default value for the user. We want them to actually enter the numbers again. Well, it's gonna create more lines of code, but it's fine. So we're just gonna say do, and just gonna do this operation right here, and we're gonna say do while num1 is less than 1 or num1 is greater than 1,000. And so let's get rid of all these things right here, actually, and we're gonna say do this. So try to get the operator while the operator while it is not one of these values right there. And get rid of this right there. And the same thing for num1 while num2 is less than 1 or num2 is greater than 1,000. So simple enough. So it will, what this is saying is saying, okay, do execute this at least once, okay? is get the number 1. Is number 1 if number 1 is less than 1 or it's greater than 1,000, it's gonna say okay, keep on entering a number until you get a value. Now if they get it wrong, then you can always display an error message telling them please enter a number between these values. But we'll just run this, run what we have for now for the sake of time. So I'm gonna say negative 1,000. So negative 500. So it's going to keep prompting us. Okay, 80. So now enter the operator. L, K, I, minus. Okay, so finally waited until we got one right, and then let's just put a right value. So we got 80 minus 60 equals 20, and voila, that's how you go. That's how we've done it. So we've just created a calculator and done it in a bunch of different ways. We've added some stuff to make it a better program, removed some stuff to make it more efficient, and so on and so forth. So I hope this was beneficial to you guys. I hope you learned a lot. And yeah, so don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe. Don't forget to like my page on Facebook and follow me on Twitter. And yeah, more videos will be coming. So that's it, and bye.